Next up on the bench. Okay, today we're going to do some work to the Dentron Clipperton L. I got to build a whole new high voltage board for it. This is a pre-manufactured. I'll just get to put it together. This has had a conversion done to it. Some really old text here that talk about how to take and convert your Dentron Clipperton L to safely run the 811 tubes. So, yeah, we got to undo that. We'll be undoing that when we do that. He put brand new 572Bs and supposedly turned it on. He said the tubes didn't light. That's not good. So we're going to be neutralizing the high voltage and putting it on the variac and testing that. Got a skinny boy we got to work on. It's got two of those 250B tubes, ceramic tubes. And we get a swan linear to work on. Yeah. Eventually we got to get to that DAC. Stay tuned. Psychotech Labs, man. That's what's next on the bench right there. See ya. Alright, the Dentron. We've been having some fun. Okay, so he brought two plugs, 220 end and this 110 end. I don't know why he took it off, but he said he had running on 110. So I like to make sure everything is right. So I wired in the 110 end. Then I checked to make sure this was wired for 110 or 120. He said the tubes weren't lighting up when he tried to power it up. So I deactivated the high voltage, so I don't have to worry about that. When I powered it up, yeah, the tubes didn't light up. So I'll start tracing, and it appeared to me, even though, I wired this correctly, black on the gold screw, white on the silver screw, and some stuff you could tell is factory. The way this stuff is wired, that was all wired from the factory. Somebody put a new cord on. I thought maybe they just got the white and black mixed up. And black was going to the fuse. That's what the schematics show. And then, white goes to this that tab there. You can tell this stuff was all factory. Nobody changed the wiring. Okay. This is an interlock switch. And if the case isn't on, then it opens the connection and won't let any power go into the transformer. The other wire is supposed to go to the on-off switch, which is that white wire right there. Okay. So I'm tracing this out. Nothing is making sense. Nothing at all. So the schematics is what you do. You'll go by the schematics. Okay, so I'm going by the schematics. And it's showing the black wire here going through the fuse. However, in this linear, from the fuse, it's going to the interlock switch. And the white wire is going to the power switch. Now, either this has been all wired wrong from the factory, which, no, doubt that. Or, that schematics right there is wrong, and these are transposed. It's supposed to be the interlock, that's supposed to be the on-off. So, all that being said, we made sure that we got power going into the transformer. So everything's good to go. We did end up having power coming out right here for the filaments, and still nothing. Tube's not lighting up. So at this point, I'm left with pulling the tube out and measuring the continuity on the filaments. That's pin 1 and 4. Those are your two bigger diameter pins. You have 2 small diameter and 2 big diameter. Okay, I want to pull this out. It was welded into the tube socket. And I'm like, whoa, there's no way it's supposed to be that hard to pull out. It was damn near impossible to get that tube out of the socket. I checked the filaments and they're good. I'm like, there's no way. Yes way. That tube was plugged in backward into the tube socket. Literally forced in the socket. I got 3 more of these tubes that I got to pull somehow, get them out of the socket and put them in right, and then I got to hope that the tube socket's not damaged and didn't stretch out the other 2 pins. Those go to the grid. Got to make sure that, you know, those are able to connect. So yeah, just when you thought you'd seen it all, tubes put in backward. That's why they're not turning on. So we're going to button up the back here and try to get those other 3 tubes out of there without damaging them. Put them in right, and then bring this thing up on the Variac and watch those tubes glow. We'll see you in a bit. Psychotech Labs signing off. Okay, that was totally my bad. I forgot to defeat the interlock switch. Okay. So I was going to say, that sucker should definitely light up. Let's juice it up again. Oh yeah, they're lighting up. Look at that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There you go. Problem solved. Since they're new tubes, I'm going to let them burn in at a low level for a little while. But okay. Transformer is good. The tubes, they're new. So hooking that up backwards should not have done any damage. Fingers crossed. I hope. What could it have done? It may have burned the grids up. I don't know. At this point, I've sold my Dentron 811, which I used to use to test like the 572B tubes also. So at this point, I got no way to test the tubes. We're just going to go ahead and build the Harbach high voltage board, get that installed, and then test it and see what the heck. So yep, it's all good in the hood. The tubes are good. Okay, well, slowly making progress on this. If the schematics would have been right, and if the tubes wouldn't have been plugged in backward, we would have already had the Harbach board built, installed, and ready to go. But we had to make sure that that transformer was good. All right. We'll get back to you when we get the start building the Harbach high voltage board. All right, Psychotech Labs rolling right along, and remember, always defeat the safety interlocks. Otherwise, you won't have any power. Catch me later. I'm out of here. Bye. Okay, this is the Harbach high voltage board that I gotta build. So you get a board, you get parts, you get some instructions, you get some capacitors. Oh man, I guess I gotta get to building, huh? The fun just got like cranked up to a whole new level, man. I know, right? I get to sit here in my little office and build this. I know. See, it's not the same tech room. So yeah, we're gonna build this inside. Anyway, that's about all I got to say about that. Psychotech Labs, we're on a roll. Catch me later. Okay, we've got all the small parts all mounted, and before we put the caps in, we're going to go ahead and solder all that up. If we put the caps on, then the board would be all floppy. This way it's going to lay a little flatter. So yeah, solder all that up, trim all those legs, and we can move on to putting the cappies in. Yay! Okay, a lot of trimming. So we've trimmed off all the excess and we've soldered all the small parts on. So there we go. It's all done up to the point where all we got to do now is just mount and solder the capacitors, and the Harbach board is done. So we'll get on that right now and get her done. There it is, one finished Harbach board. Yep. So that's going to go in the high voltage section of the Dentron Clipperton L we were working on. So that's a tomorrow project. We're done for the day. Catch me later. We'll finish this up tomorrow. Have a good day from Psychotech Labs. Okay, we've extracted the old high voltage board. Getting ready to wire in the new high voltage board right there. So, yeah, if you worked on as many linears as I have, it's pretty cut and dry. You got some high voltage out, got some low voltage stuff too to run the relay and the meter lights. Really not much to it. We have to change out a couple wires here on this switch that were switched over when they did the lower voltage conversion to run the 811 tubes. So we got to put that right. Alright, I'm going to mount this and wire it up, then variac test it. Catch me later. Okay, there it is, it's all wired in. I said this has been replaced. They put a 3-position switch in, so one's off, and then you get high and low. The meter is messed up. It's pegged all the way backwards, so we got to carefully try to take that apart, see if we can fix it. It's basically dead, so it's not like I can hurt it anymore. It's not going to read right like that. Wish me luck. Catch me in a few. Okay, well, the board is in. Everything's been checked out as good as I can check it out. Basically, at this point, we're going to bring up the power on the variac, which is going to energize the new high voltage board and everything else. So, fingers crossed. God keep us safe, and let's do this. Variac is on. And we're pumping some voltage in it. So far so good. Got meters toast, unfortunately. no way of measuring the high voltage. Tubes are glowing. $100 volts. $120. It's holding up. Looks good. We'll rig up a way to measure the high voltage here after a while. We're going to call that good for now. That's a win. Nothing fried. The tube's lit. Man, that means we're getting ready to send a little RF power into this bad boy. See if we get any amplification. Well, moving right along on the Dentron project. Psychotech Labs, man. Appreciate, like I keep saying to you guys, that you guys watch my crude, poor quality videos. Anyway, we're gonna let this thing bleed down, and we'll check out the high voltage later. We'll rig up a meter for that. Catch me in a while. Okay, got another high voltage probe from eBay. The first one that I was sent didn't have the dropping resistor, and it was just a hollow shell. Okay, so I ordered this Fluke high voltage probe. We're gonna put some voltage in it, hopefully. So here we go. Oh, it's working. Okay, so this should be higher. Oh yeah. Okay, so that switch is wired right. And my new high voltage probe is working. So damn. Showing a lot of voltage there. But yeah, I got me basically a brand new Fluke high voltage probe. And yeah, it's measuring high voltage. So that'll help keep me safe. I'm going to have to measure high voltage on that skinny boy linear too. That's it. The Dentron Clipperton L has high voltage. So the Harbach board that I built is working all the way down the line. So, yay. Alright. I guess we're to the point where we can put some RF power in there and see if we get amplification. Catch me a little later. Psychotech Labs signing off. Okay, that's it for the Dentron project. Low power with a stock CB. We're getting 450 watts out of it. So I'd say the tubes are working just fine. So yeah, the guy that owns it, he's coming up tomorrow to pick it up. He's a happy camper. So that's it for the Dentron project. I'll be uploading this video real soon. So thanks everyone for watching my YouTube channel. Remember, stay safe, man. If you don't know anything about high voltage, don't play with it. Make sure you got good probes. I mean, I had a probe, but it was old. And, you know, playing around with this stuff, I just didn't trust it anymore. So after ordering 2 more probes, I finally got one that worked. Got this nice little Fluke probe here. Oh yeah, it worked fine. I'm happy. Everybody's happy. Catch me later. Psychotech Labs signing off.